She is 45, but you would never be able to tell by looking at her physique, looking at her face, looking at her brain. She is a rugby player, she's an athlete, and she is shattering barriers when it comes to women in sports. And joining me right now is Phaidra Knight. She is the second American ever to be inducted into the World Rugby Hall of Fame. Good morning, Phaidra. Thank you for spending some time with us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. So grateful.
Absolutely. And in full disclosure, Phaidra and I are clubmates. We played rugby together roughly 100 years ago. She is obviously the better rugby player because she went on to play professionally. But I want to start with rugby. People don't know what rugby is necessarily, but by the way, it is an Olympic sport. And you not only excelled in rugby, but you brought rugby to the inner city. Talk to me a little bit about the fact that you coached student athletes in the Bronx and what that brought not only to the community, but to you as an athlete and as a coach.
Yes, well, I started out coaching kids on the Upper West Side, an alternative high school, and then I made my way up to the Bronx by way of Play Rugby USA. And now I've established my own nonprofit, Peak Unleashed, and we offer rugby to incarcerated kids in the tri-state area, primarily at this point. But it was amazing, right? It's bringing in a sport that these kids have absolutely no clue about, and it's so inclusive, which is what makes it so awesome. And so every kid, every person, whoever's playing, right, has an opportunity to score and pass. In the tackle game, every kid has an opportunity to tackle. And so you're playing both offense and defense. The really cool thing about it, too, is that no matter how many star players you have or how great of an athlete you are, you absolutely need the support of your teammates in order to advance and really be successful. And so it has created so much in these kids in inner city areas. You have to go through so much conflict resolution on the fly. You have to be able to control your emotions. Many times you get tackled hard, and all you want to do is go back at that person, but you have to contain yourself because you have to play on, really. So it's a great thing.
It's really, rugby is a metaphor for life. I'm so glad that you continue to be involved in rugby. But you decided a couple of years ago, you know what, I climbed that mountain. Let me go into mixed martial arts. First of all, you do not look your age, 45. I'm older than you, 46. And I still want to be you 46. When I grow up. Also, we are the same age. Thank goodness. See, you two at home can look like Phaidra Knight when you're 46 years old. How did you make the decision to go from rugby to MMA, and how are you making this work?
Well, I retired from rugby in 2017. I had an opportunity, or I was presented an opportunity to commentate the Women's World Cup in 2017 for NBC Sports. And so I had to make a decision. Should I retire? I've been playing the sport for 20 years, on the U.S. team for 18, or should I continue? And so I made a really life-changing decision that, you know what, I'm happy and satisfied with the career I've amassed. I'm going to go commentate. And so I opened up that career in a pretty major way. And about 2 years later, I was actually in Turks and Caicos with my partner last year, 2019, and she suggested, "Hey, why don't you fight? Why don't you try MMA? I think you'll be really successful at it. It'll get you out of the park. Now you can go train." And so,
right, exactly.
I bit the bullet. I got back from.
You bit the bullet.
Yeah, I did it.
And you started, we don't have a whole lot of time, but you are wearing a very fabulous rugby right now. I didn't wear mine this morning because I didn't want to be too much of a twinsy, but this is your latest creation. Tell us about your athletic collection.
Sure. So I have this incredible passion for fashion, and obviously I'm an athlete, love sports. Was always challenged to find clothes that fit me because of my muscular build. And so I was forced to really resort to custom clothing. I identified a white space in the fashion market and was inspired to create a fully inclusive line that caters to athletic-bodied girls, women, and individuals alike, bringing a lot of attention to women athletes. So I launched the PSK Collective. We actually launched last Wednesday.
The PSK Collective.
Collective.
I was just going to say you launched. And where can we find it? Because we have to go quickly. But where can folks get some of your clothing?
Well, we'll be available in stores later this fall, but you can go to the www.psk-collective.com and you can find some stuff. We actually sold out of a lot of items, but we'll be restocked in about a week or two.
Oh my goodness.
So don't despair.
Phaidra, thank you so much. Continued success. Congratulations on everything you do. And at some point, we're going to bring you into the studio because my co-host, Ben Aaron, is dying to learn how to play rugby, and you are the woman to help him.
You got it, Marysol. You got it. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Take care.